Let's do it.
All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the Order. This is our fourth episode. I am here with a couple of guys who I'm fondly falling for. These guys are good rangers. These guys have got good ideas. These one of them ideas is way out there, Drew. But but I
OJ's
still love
coming.
them all. So I'm here with my boy Drew Danger. I got my boy Rican Ranger, and we got a
Hey,
guest over here who we may be bringing on a whole lot more. And this is Angel Pitch. You guys know him from the Henry streams. But with us four together, we're all gonna make sure we're gonna have fun. These podcasts are gonna be, really good for us to come and talk about Ranger stuff. We got a lot going on. Y'all know we got some cons coming up too. So make sure you guys check your cities because we have one here in Atlanta that's going to be going on, which is Ranger Stop, which will be going June 21st to the 23rd. So I will be there. So make sure you guys are there as well. So
yes,
today
sir.
we got a couple of surprises that we're going to be talking about. We've got martial arts. We've got toys. We got to talk about toys. From me, we're going to be talking about Diet Ranger. And from my boy Rican, we're going to be talking about music and all of
Yay,
this. So, without further
everything.
ado, I'm going to turn it over to my boy Rican. Rican, I want you to take it away.
All right, welcome, guys. The order shall be restored. All 2024. Cat Williams style. Right? Let's do it. All right, Angel. Let him know, bro, what you repping. Obviously, it's Dragon Zord power. That's why he's here. You see the shirt, right?
Mhm.
Basically, we're gonna start with Keep It Frank. Keep It Frank is a segment I want to lead the show off with, where we go around the horn with the guys and they tell what's on their mind with the franchise, what they're into, what they're doing, how they got there, what they love, and you have the floor. Keep It Frank is to honor the big homie, and speak our piece. So, Angel, where you
Yeah,
at with it, bro? You got the floor.
yeah. Just keeping it frank. I'm just a little concerned with the whole move over to Playmates, just because
Mm-hmm.
traditionally Playmates has been kind of a Ninja Turtle thing. So whenever I think about those toys, I think of the Ninja Turtle lines, which is not, not to say that they're bad. I love the Ninja Turtle lines, but they
Right.
don't scream out Power Rangers to me. Like if you look at traditionally, whenever they do like the Power Ranger and the Ninja Turtle lines, they're very different when Hasbro had their hands on them. So the turtles looked a little sleeker. They formed into the suits a little bit better. Because that's one of my big gripes is as the American toys, Bandai America, they always bulk them up too much.
Mm-hmm.
So I like whenever I pose my figures or whenever I like to recreate scenes, I like it to look
Mm-hmm.
like as much as possible to what it looked like on the show, especially like the Zords. I love posing the Zords exactly
Right.
how I did it in the shows
So
because
you need accuracy. You want accuracy in your toys, basically.
I want them to look as good as possible because when they moved over to
Right.
Hasbro, I had the same qualms about it. I was very surprised and I wanted
Right.
the toys to look as good as possible. And I actually came out shocked at how good the Hasbro stuff was. Because my favorite, and it's always going to be the case, Figuarts
Right.
is my favorite for Kamen Rider and Super Sentai. The
Okay.
proportions
So,
are the
so
best.
so let me pause you real quick. You're
Yeah.
basically telling me you're the toy guy.
Yeah.
So Drew, I want you to chime in because you're the toy guy when it comes to us.
And I'm
So
telling
I
you to
mean,
behave out
obviously,
here.
yeah, Angel's got a passion for the toys. I mean, I agree with you. I think Playmates is known for Ninja Turtles. I think it should have went to Bandai. I like how the old school Bandai stuff came out that was sold out in 93, 94. They should have tried to recreate that stuff. That's my opinion on the
I
toys.
wish they had
Bring
done
back
it.
the old
I wish they had done it
Tyrannoblaster,
armor.
the old stuff, the weapons you got. Definitely show off some of the weapons you got, stuff you collect that needs to be made properly. And the action figure game is big. So I mean, let's see what Playmates does. I
Yeah,
agree.
definitely.
So what do you
So,
think, Drew? You think Playmates can pull it off, or is the toys going to come out like Great Value brand? You know what I'm saying? Like,
This is why I'm
is it
showing
going to
these
be?
off because
Yeah, it's like
I was going into
quality.
the next side, which is Playmates isn't going to make them look like this. What I'm showing you
No,
right here
heck.
is NECA. Now, NECA
Yeah.
went out of their way to make
Yeah.
sure that you got the movie quality that we all want, to see, right?
Right.
So Playmates served their purpose as the first company that did the Turtles. I was old enough to be there when the toys hit in the late 80s. And, at first it was like, well, that's what we're getting. But as, time has gone on, technology's advanced, progression's gone through better technology. They've been passe a long time. The only toy I remember that had any success, and it has been some years. Do you guys remember when Jim Lee was doing Wildcats?
Yeah.
Oh, I have it in my
Marvel?
comic box right now. I got number 1
Yeah.
sitting here. That's crazy. You say that.
Playmates
know
did the Wildcats figures, and that was the only toy line that I saw that people were really buying when they came out. And after that, besides Turtles, and even at that time, Turtles were dying because Jim Lee did the Ninja Turtles through his designs at the same time, but nobody was interested. I remember nobody bought those Turtles because Turtles were done at the time. And Playmates may be the first company that did the Turtles, but they don't have the formula. What I just showed you guys, NECA's formula is way better. Would you guys much rather have that, or would you guys much rather have these?
Well,
But is
we
NECA
can't have that
owned
without
by
talking price point.
Playmates? I don't think it is.
What's that?
NECA's not owned by Playmates, though, is it?
No, they did a side deal because Playmates does Turtles, NECA, and Super 7.
That's what I'm hoping.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Super 7 makes okay
has the
stuff.
license too.
Because I do like the Super 7. I own the White Ranger and the Green Ranger Super 7, and I'll get to them eventually, but
I have
one
the Super
gripe I
7
have is
signed
that they're a
too.
little chunky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Super 7 does
Hell
a
yeah.
really good job with the turtle figures. If you like because they do the animation and a lot of the comic book stuff, and it's pretty much 100% accurate. NECA has done some of the comic book stuff, but they mainly, zoom in on the movie.
Yeah.
The original movie stuff. And then Playmates does like the current whatever cartoon series is going stuff for the kids. And that's what I'm saying is like they're just cutting stuff for the kids, and the stuff they make for the kids, well, it's just a flashback.
So let me can I ask you a question then? Both you guys are toy guys. I mean, let's talk price points.
Yeah.
We got collector price points, we got kid price points. So you guys as the experts in toys, obviously they should be breaking down price points and tiering these for quality.
Yeah,
because there's guys like you who are growing, right? They're aging. So it's like we're not kids anymore. We're not playing with the toys. We don't need to be entertained. We want them nice looking in the shelf on the wall. And if we pay over $100 for it, it better glisten and shine and look and be painted how it's supposed to be. So, and I'm not really into toys like that, but that's my gripe. And that's where it needs to stay for me. So I want you guys to chime in on the quality, the tiers, the pricing, who's really running it out here. Because we talking about NECA, Super 7. I know these toy names because I started in action figures and I moved to comics. So I like the spot we're in right now. So break it down like that. Give me the tiers, give me the price points, and who's running the game out here.
So right now,
as far as sports.
Here's my background. So a couple of friends of mine were the owners of Heidi Ho Comics. So so for me, down in Santa Monica, shout out to them. I know they're trying to start back up. This is the thing about it, is that there's a very popular story. I can't remember the name of the writer right now, but I'm sure I can find it later, or somebody in the comments will tell me. There's a very popular story for one of the guys that was writing Catwoman. And so he wanted to write Catwoman. This was around the New 52 era. So he said, hey, I want to write Catwoman and I want to make it for kids because Batman traditionally was for kids. He wanted to make kid-friendly storylines. They told him, you want to write for kids? Go write for Scooby-Doo.
Oh, wow.
Because
this is where... Can we pause there? I'm just going to pause you because we got to stop that corporate nonsense, bro. That's what we're fighting against. That right there. Go do Scooby-Doo. That's disrespectful to the artists and to people getting involved.
It is.
This is
but
like the fans got to fight that.
Well, like where I was going with it is that this is the thing, is that when they're looking at Diamond, I believe that's the prime distributor for a lot of the comic book toys.
Monopoly,
They already
yeah,
know
they are.
their market is
Mhm.
not children, it's adults, because adults
Yeah.
are the ones that buy the statues. Adults are the ones that buy the expensive toy line. They're the ones that want to do that, and of course they got to have the kid friendly. So what I was
Right.
thinking was probably what Hasbro is maybe thinking of. We're gonna have to wait and see. I believe that they're gonna keep the Lightning collection, but do it like they've been doing it for the last couple of runs, where they have like
Mhm.
their select on their Hasbro Pulse,
Yeah, I was just
and
gonna say
then
that's another line too.
market it out to Playmates so that they can still make their money, and they can they can crap out the kid lines at a cheaper cost.
Mhm.
That's not
Right,
going
I
to
was
hurt their
gonna say
bottom
that
line.
too.
Right.
I was gonna
So
say
would
they
you
should
guys
go.
agree? Would you guys agree that their motive is to basically just throw out the license as much as they can
Oh,
and just
absolutely.
rake up whatever, you know what I mean? So it's like there's no really passion behind anything that's gonna come from this, you know.
I
So
think
it's like they're
Hasbro
not gonna put
started
out, and they need good
passion.
stories.
It definitely started with passion, especially with Beast Morphers. Once you see like the quality that was there, they anticipated a lot of money coming in, but then when
Right.
they figured out the bottom line for Power Rangers, it eventually turned into Disney, where they were just like, you know what, do whatever,
Yeah.
I don't care.
It
Do
never
a
produces.
reboot of
Who
the original
cares?
series.
Yeah. That's what I
Yeah.
mean. And that's what pisses me off, because it's like they're sitting there and their attitude about it is wrong because they just don't have the right people running it. If you just do the initial work that it needs, it could do another 30 years. They keep forgetting that it's still, regardless of what it's been 30 years, sustained, relevant.
I mean,
Give
and
it the
Kenny's about
respect
to
it's
talk about,
due.
Super Sentai still going strong. Their numbers like may go up and down per season,
Right.
but it's still going.
But see, the
All
thing
right,
is, with the
Ken.
Sentai is that
He's a
they
Sentai
change each
expert.
season, and I would, they just adapted that formula after in space. So you got some people that's still on it. You got some that's dropping off. Because I'm not gonna lie, I dropped off after Lightspeed and came back when Dino Thunder, when Jason David Frank came back. Dropped off again, came back when what was it? When Samurai came out, and then I just dropped off after that, and I haven't been back since until this last one, Cosmic Force. I mean Cosmic Fury, and that one was okay.
That was phoned in.
I just got a crazy idea, Ken, because you're the Sentai guy. I want to show you some love. How expensive is it to get our own Sentai footage and do what they did on the original show and start mixing some unused Sentai footage on our show?
Oh, that's gonna be some money. It's gonna be.
It's like that's what they did.
Because
no one's doing that, right? Because Rangers switched from following the Sentai formula to, weren't they recording self-sustaining like a studio? Cosmic Fury didn't have any Sentai footage, did it? When did they stop using the Sentai?
The Zords were they weren't even Sentai. They were mostly CGI, because mostly if they would have used the Sentai footage, they would have been mostly in space. They rarely was on Earth. They were on Earth maybe like a couple of episodes, but they was around in space. Like the Sentai that the Zords came from, they were always in space. And I did a whole review on it because I love that. I love that one. But to answer your question,
what I'm saying. We should add some stuff. Definitely. We should definitely add some stuff. Like Sentai wise, you got to kind of tell us what to add as far as like, I don't know which Sentais are more popular than the other ones, other than the ones that became MMPR. You know what I mean? I don't even have that knowledge.
Popular. That one was popular. Now the problem with the thing that I think a lot of people had, once they saw the Super Sentai of what made MMPR, when they saw what happened, they get confused. Like, okay, this is what happened, but why we still got these villains when the villains from that series is already gone? So then when they
Right.
brought Lord Zed in, which I thought it was a good idea because I thought he was a part of the Super Sentai, but he wasn't.
Zed was a
Mhm.
great idea. Zed was
Right.
such
And
a
I like
great
that too.
character. Yeah.
Right, and I loved how they made him menacing, but you know they had to dumb him down because they were saying the children were scared of him. But I mean, ain't this what a villain is?
Yeah, I mean, he had that snake. I remember he had that snake just crawling around him.
Man,
That was dope.
Yeah.
I will tell
Well,
you, I
let's
was
do
scared
it.
when I saw that, and I was in high school when this was out. I was scared because
Well, let's do this. Let's
I
do this.
cannot
Let's tap the
stand
pause
snakes.
again. I want to tap the pause again because you guys are cooking. When it comes to the script and the bad guy, right? We're talking about the Sentai. Who do you guys got leading? Are we doing Zed this time? Because the 2017 movie did Rita. Are we tired of Rita? Do we do a little what's the villain, the black and green villain with the veins from one of the Shattered Grid stories? I'm not sure if you guys
Oh,
are
I
familiar
don't
with
know
the
that one.
comics.
I don't know that.
You're not talking about Ecliptor, are you?
Is that who it is? Dark Sector, I think. Is it Dark Sector? Yeah, Dark Sector. We could get into some Star Trek stuff too.
Well, I'm
and
gonna
pull.
say this.
Ecliptor would be a
now.
great villain as
Uh-huh.
well as Anaconda.
I'm gonna
That's what
say
I'm
this
saying.
now. A lot of people are getting tired of Rita because, to be honest, Bandora was only one season and one season only.
Yeah.
America kept her over here for the simple fact because they were saying children wouldn't adapt that well. But I mean,
Well, this
if
is
you
for adults, so
right, but
this is
but for adults, we can kind of switch because I like it to where
That's good.
the story has the beginning and an end. Power Rangers really had no end because we're always fighting Rita, we're always fighting Zed. We got new villains coming in, but there's no end to it. Then they're still with us in Zeo because you got the Machine Empire that took over, but they're still there. So it's like, where does it end? We need like new villains to come in, but we need to get rid of the old ones first. Now,
Right.
what they did do with Zed and Cosmic Fury, they ended
Mhm.
up. I thought they was gonna kill him, but they didn't. They put him
Right.
in endless loop, of Rita just bashing him. So if y'all ain't seen this, spoiler alert, but they just had him in a dream sequence. But I thought it was gonna end up, taking him out, but they did not do that. I'm
Right.
just saying we need villains that's gonna come, serve their purpose, fight to the max, and either they win or they lose, and we move on to new villains. That's how I feel.
All right. so
That's
let's
why
do this.
Shinkenger is one of my favorites. Shinkenger, that was the great part about it because you had Juzo Fua. That dude
Yeah.
was all about just
Rebuild
I'm
the
in it to
universe.
kill. He's just like,
Yeah, that's what
I'm
we
gonna
need to do.
kill you. And he was like, we're gonna have this final duel. The Red Ranger and him had their final duel to the death, and
Mhm.
that was it. He was
Yes.
done and gone. That was like one of the perfect representations of what Kenny was talking about. He was
Well,
awesome.
what
He came
do you
in,
think?
done.
Put them all together. Put all of y'all together because I think this has to be a multi-level, multi-season, multi-hit villain event where the villains come together and then it forces the hit Rangers to come together too.
But
And
I'm
if
gonna
you
say
put
we
the
can't
fire
put,
between that.
I'm gonna say
Go
we
ahead,
can't
go ahead.
put too many villains into the
Yeah.
pot because it spoils it. Now let me say, if you go
Well,
back
how
and watch,
much is too much? That's what I'm asking. How much is too
now I'm
much?
gonna tell you. Now, if you go back and look at my favorite, which is Dire Ranger, Angel should know this. The perfect villains that they had in there was awesome. They had the foot soldiers, then they had the generals, then they had the big guy. Now the big guy didn't come in until like almost he was there, but he was only seen like maybe periodically.
Yeah, it was like a Thanos thing.
Right.
So who's your vote? If we pick three, right? Let's keep it three since it's us three. Who's your vote, Ken? For top third, if you had to put a villain in this movie, I'll give each of you guys a vote, and then I'm gonna add to it at the end. Let's play a little around the horn, right?
I
So
would
put
go
in the
with
script.
Zed. For America,
Thanos level threat, right? Thanos level threat. At the end, I'm thinking Dracon. That's where I'm at with it. Dracon, Lady Dracon, Sky. I already said this. If someone does it first, they took it from me because I'm the only one saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm letting it fly. I don't care because I'm the one airing it out. Everybody knows that. So you guys go. Give me the three, and if that's too much, we'll talk about it. So
all right, my vote is Zed. What you think, Drew?
Ecliptor all the way.
Clippers, Zed, and what you got,
I can't
Angel?
lie.
Let me see.
I can't lie. He was
Andronima. We got Andronima, Dark Sector. Who else am I missing? Who was from Zeo, Turbo, Samurai?
The Machine Empire is from Zeo, so I mean, they
Everything's
really
game.
worked out.
You can add the Machine Empire as the army. You can do intricate additions too, because you can have Rita dying in the special, Zed coming to avenge her death, channeling some power from Dark Sector like Galactus. You can kind of, if you connect it right, you can have a bunch of them. Just don't get one of them overpowering the other and make the threat at a high enough level that when you put the Rangers together, it comes together like it's supposed to. You know what I'm saying? So Zed is necessary for me, and Drakon has to come and decimate all at the end. And you can even throw Amy in there if she wants to get involved with some Ranger Slayer. And then Yost has Blue Emissary written all over it. This is why I'm coming for Ross Ritchie, because it's like he's really a nerd with this. He enjoys the stories, the writing. I just watched a podcast last night. It was meant to be. The director for Boom, they're looking for stories in the comics. I'm going to keep it, once that becomes the storyboard, the realm, once we get the actual canon and the timeline and things right, it's all about the Batman and Joker effect. The Batman and Joker effect is because of the dynamic between the Joker and Bat. They're the same person on different sides. That's why I love Batman. So if we can give the Rangers the same dynamic that they always have to come together, they always have to team up, we're always going to have the Rangers making money and in business, and the fans are going to be happy because they're always coming together and channeling the grid to fight somebody bigger than them. So if they don't write it like that, it's going to come out like the special with cheap CGI. Let's just give it to the fans. They get the nostalgia money and we good. Nah, look at what Amy Jo's doing with the comics, bro. She just dropped number 4 today, sold out everywhere. And this is episode 4. This is meant to be. If we keep going, they have to listen to the fans because they're going to run out of ideas on their own and they're just going to be looking for the bag. So all this stuff is important. You guys with the villains, Ecliptor, Zed, right? Ken was Zed. And who you got, Angel?
I kind of want that one villain that was in that arc with Johnny Young Bosch, where it was like that anniversary season. The Zed
came together with Carlos
and the
Rita's son,
Drax or something like that. I can't remember the name right now.
I don't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
because I'm thinking interdimensional travel with space, SPD, Ninjetti, of course, is in there. You got a little Ninja Storm, Dino Thunder. These are just my guys that I got circulating. You know what I mean? Samurai Ninja Steel.
I'd like Yas to come in like a villain because in Boom Comics, when he was doing that little side hustle to make another Green Ranger, I was like, he could be a villain. That would be fun. I'd like to see Billy, like an alternate dimension, Billy as a villain.
I have a gripe. I want to get this off my chest. We got to stop shifting powers to all the Rangers. We can't keep making everybody Green Rangers.
But I did like the design for the Boom Studios.
Now I did like it.
I wish they had made his dragon dagger because that thing was sick. It like had a curved hilt and everything.
Well, that's what we're doing, bro. That with Matt Cook is coming. He's patented too. Ain't nobody talking Matt Cook but me. He died. The Green Ranger's gone. Somebody got to replace him. It's like T'Challa. Chadwick Boseman is irreplaceable. But the Black Panther character is too good to not have someone be recasted and try.
You know that
because there's too many stories, right?
Not ever gonna recast T'Challa for nothing. No, they didn't. No, they changed it for X-Men '97. Now his name is T'Chaka.
Oh yeah, they did.
They did. They came out. They said they will never have anyone play T'Challa.
They sure did.
Yeah.
You go back, I think it was episode 9 or 10.
Yeah.
It was one of those.
Oh, we already know Disney doesn't know what they're doing. We already know that.
Oh, no, this was Marvel.
We can have a whole segment.
This is Marvel. No. This is Disney Marvel.
This is not Disney.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Marvel came out and said they will never have someone replace Chadwick.
And see, and that's the way this is what America should do with their people, because Japan does this all the time. If any one of their voice actors, their actors, anybody pass away, they would never recast them.
Not true.
Well, I mean, it depends.
What about his son?
Yeah.
What about his son? They did his son in Wakanda too, right? In Wakanda Forever too. The second
They
one,
did
right?
replace
They
Bulma. I forgot about that.
No,
They
no, no.
did replace Bulma.
They'll make new characters, but there's never gonna be another T'Challa. Like
do
they'll
you
never.
Right.
do you guys remember? Do you guys remember the next Avengers, the animated movie that had Captain America's son with a force field shield,
Yeah, I
and they
have
were
that
young?
movie somewhere, yeah.
And Thor had a daughter with a sword. They could even go that route. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that would be crazy. That would be crazy.
That's what it
So
looks like they're
once
doing.
we do what we got to do with Power Rangers, and we get enough fans behind us that trust us, we could shift into other genres and start knocking on other doors. That's hopefully the plan. You know, so I mean, Power Rangers is just the beginning, because look at what they did with X-Men 97. You know, we've been talking about X-Men a lot lately. We need some good X-Men movies too. After this animated stuff, so you know they're gonna give us live action, and you guys better do it right, which is what
I'm
they're
gonna just
doing with
say Fox
Deadpool
looked it up, but that's
3
gonna
right
be
now.
another podcast. We'll make a whole specific episode about X-Men because
We
I
could
got.
go in on Marvel too. I'm a fan, and I love
We
that
going
world
in on
too.
Marvel. We going in
They-
on Marvel
Yeah.
because
We
I'm
can
gonna
help
say right now,
everybody.
they need a shorty.
that'll be
Wolverine.
episode 6. Y'all stay tuned. Episode 6, X-Men. We're gonna talk about how they work.
So
Shorty for
as I say, go ahead, Drew. Hit us.
Yeah,
Drew.
let's
I
let
was
you.
just gonna say about the licensing. You know, I know that apparently McFarlane is coming in to work with Hasbro on some projects, and that's been confirmed. And it's kind of a bummer because I was hoping he would get the Power Ranger license.
We can still get them if we talk enough stuff, make enough noise, and say, "Yo, McFeezy, I do comics too, bro, and I know your history and I know how you get down. So what's up? Good, let's do some JDF stuff, bro. I'm already ready for McFeezy.
Dude, I would
trust me.
love
I
a
tell you guys, I
McFarlane
do
Goldar.
comics.
That would be sick.
Yeah,
I'm doing
if
comics.
you think about it, guys, if
That's a great
McFarlane
idea.
knows what he would do and the direction and how he would up the game for them, because it's like, do we want the cheap
Unmatched.
playmates? No. Or do we want this? I'll be back.
McFarlane toys, yeah, absolutely. But then we're talking about price point. Those
He
are
got
going to be
everything.
See, that's
yeah.
This is the thing about price point, because I have
That's
been privy to
Now,
Bad
that's
Guy
nice.
America.
That's the Go
Oh, that's
Batmobile too, by the way.
That's
Go ahead, Angel. I'm sorry.
that's the Michael Keaton Batmobile, and
Right.
he was my favorite Batman out of all Batman.
Did you guys
Now,
like him in the Flash?
Christian,
In the Flash movie? Did you like him in
Dude,
the Flash movie? Or no?
I haven't watched it, but I will not watch it out of principle. I said I wasn't
Oh,
going to watch it. I'm not going to watch it.
Wait, you were not gonna watch what now? What happened?
I'm not watching Flash out of principle.
Flash movie.
Oh my God, no, no.
So then let's do DC real quick, because we kind of swerved the Marvel. To me, DC, it's until James Gunn hits, we don't know what's going on with y'all, but we rooting for y'all. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying.
Let me swing around. I want to spin the block. Let me spin the block back to Power Rangers, right? So we talked about Marvel. We got DC. Who else you guys got really touching what's going on? They're the big three, like Kendrick Cole and when the whole world was distracted by that recently. If you follow anything in music too, or hip hop, you know, I saw that hit. I'm like, all right, so what's the big three in the toys? What's the big three with everybody else going on too? Those are dictating the market, you know. Power Rangers could be in the big three to me. So we're starting with the stories right now. Do you guys agree with animated first? If we're gonna storyboard this, do we go the animated route and try to get a comic done along with an animated series, and then if that generates the income, we can knock on the doors harder and be like, listen, how much do you guys want us to do out here? Do we make a petition along with the Kickstarter to get signatures too, to basically get them to give up power? Because the fans are over here barking, making noise that you guys are killing the franchise, and we can make that argument, to be honest.
Well, I'm gonna tell you. Remember when we had that conversation about that? I don't think they're gonna relinquish anything. Like what they're gonna basically do is license it out to bigger people so they can get more money coming in. They may license it out to, like everybody said, Playmates. Playmates make their toys, they'll get a kickback from it. They'll still license it out to Boom Studios. Boom Studios make more comics. They'll get it thrown back. But they won't. But see, the thing is, they're not gonna do anything until they see something. Until they see like a good kickback. if they don't do the show like they said they're gonna do, because a
education.
lot of people are already pissed off with how they already got the story going. You got Green Ranger, Red Ranger, Pink Ranger, Yellow Ranger, and Blue Ranger, but no Black Ranger. And then the Green Ranger is supposed to be the leader.
Yeah.
So you're already fucking up the story already. People are not really saying, they're saying this is not our childhood. What the hell are you doing? So
But that's what we gotta tell them. We gotta tell them. That's what I'm saying.
But-
We gotta tell them what to do. That's what we're doing.
I'm gonna tell you, if they're anything like what Genshin Impact is, they don't listen to fans, then I can, if Hasbro's like that, we'll never get what
right. I mean,
So-
what do you guys think? If they do that and they blatantly don't listen to what we're saying in the era of making content where everyone's got a voice and they're trying to be vocal and raise their hand and say, hey, can I have a chance in the classroom too? Because it's like Power Rangers is important to us. How do we tell them? So we're just gonna do it.
All you gotta
We got
do
the
is-
bad guys. Who's got to shine? You know what I'm saying? Matt Cook is the lead, right? Green Ranger. Where do we go? I think Space West is important. Jason
You
Font
can
is important.
petition, mostly petition, but like Angel said, it's still up to the studios who they choose.
Yeah.
We can say Matt
Put
Cook all
it to
day.
you this way. Jason David Frank, before he passed away, wanted a Dragon series. They told him, we'll think about it. He wanted the Green Ranger series. They said,
Yeah.
we'll think about it. He
Yeah.
wanted ideas like a Riverdale, but Angel Grove.
Right.
Sorry, we're passing. So if they didn't give
Right.
it to Jason David Frank, it's kind of a long shot with what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he was their golden boy. He was
Yeah, now I'm going to say he's the golden boy. If they didn't give it to him, then they ain't really going to let it go. And then Saban done gave them the reins of it. They bought it from him, so they know what they're sitting on. So if they don't give us, if they can sit on it for 3-4 damn years before they even make any content with it. And what can we do? Even though if we all get out there and protest and say we want something, we can stand out there all day for 6 years. They still don't have to do anything, and that's the problem, because see, they giving it to somebody bought it that may not do anything with it, but they're already fucking up on it, and they see fans are pissed off. But do they continue on going with it, or do they listen to what we got to say? My thing is, they've already written the script, they've already got, they supposed to already been filming, so it's coming whether we like it or not. So what can we do, guys?
Well, Drew, I want to ask you now.
Yeah.
Right. I want to know the legal aspect. If this starts to get ugly, like Ken is saying, and they're like, well, screw you guys, we might just ignore you and do whatever we want. How do we fight back as fans? And do we buy stake? Do we all come together, raise money, and buy stake in the franchise and purchase a license and have the fans do like American Idol style live on YouTube and make the order, picking who we want to basically run the battering ram through the door? Because it's like, you don't get to say no. We're the fans. We tell you we don't buy it if we don't like it. That's it. That's the
all you gotta
rules,
do,
right?
get them in the pocket.
Stop buying it. I want to cook about it a little bit. Like, if we don't buy it, what? So we can fight back. I don't believe that evil corporate nonsense. They can shut us down, like Ken's saying. I don't think they can do that. They can dance around us and hit us with some salsa keto with the Rican Ranger. They could try, but legally, we got Drew Danger, right? So Drew, being in the movie scene in the martial arts realm, if we get the martial arts realm like you got, we get the movie realm like you got.
I'm gonna explain to you, my friend. Genshin Impact has done 2 straight years to us, right as we speak.
Before I start my conversation,
every year they do like.
Yeah, I want to hear what you got to say.
They got the they have an anniversary every year in September. Fans have been screaming to them like, this is what we want. This is what we got. What you guys are going to give us for playing your game for 3 years, and we're spending mounds of money. People have spent $150,000 on this game just playing, getting characters, building up the characters and stuff. So fans are like, what can we get? So people want like 5-star characters. They want like, it doesn't even have to be a limited banner. It could be like maybe a standard banner. It could be just a good 5-star. They want like maybe 10, they want like 30 wishes, which is we call 10 pulls. They could give us like the currency to pull at least 40 pull. People want stuff like that. Do you know they didn't give us half of the stuff I just said? They gave bare minimum. They gave us they gave us one wish. They gave us and then they put most of the stuff behind paywalls. People went and started review bombing. They started, every time they went live, they would go in there and put like the character Chi-Chi all through the live stream. And you know what they did? They didn't even give us anything. They just apologized. They said we're gonna do better. They gave us a few incentives. Was kind of good, but not what we wanted. And guess what? We got another anniversary this year. I bet it's going to be the same way because they've already started. Because they gave us like three pools on the event they called the Lantern Rite Festival. So you got people out here advocating. You got people out here saying we don't like what you guys are doing. We want and you got people on the other side talking to them. They are not listening.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. How do we, Drew? How do we take a stand as fans where no one will legally get in trouble because we're just irate fans. We grown up. We got money. We're working. We want the kid Rangers we had to become adult Rangers where everyone's winning.
All right, guys. Let me start by this. Everybody look at this. Everybody see the year.
2015.
This is a professional pass for what?
San Diego Con.
Okay. Whose name is on it?
Yours.
You guess.
Okay, you see that sticker that gave me access to everywhere at San Diego Comic-Con. That's how in it was with it. And because my wife tagged along, they also gave her own pass. So
nice. So how many years ago?
So that's how this was going. So there's her pass.
Yeah, nice.
So what I'm saying is this was when we went head to head with 20th Century Fox.
Nice.
So I have to kind of touch on that, which leads to your question.
And then Angel, you go right after.
That I have not showed. But this is the entire script. Remember I talked about the Alien tribute film?
Yeah. That's what we mean.
This is it right here. This is the whole thing. This is the original. Okay. Cool. So let's get to that.
Yeah.
If you are going to face a corporation of any type, they can stop you. They will find ways to stop you. In our case, it was Ridley Scott because he was doing Alien Covenant at the time. Because what was going on was there was us and there was Neil Blomkamp that did Chappie, right? And Neil Blomkamp was looking like he was getting access to do the proper sequel to Aliens, which is what we were working on around the same time. And it was looking like Fox may work with him on that. And so he was kind of excited and we were following him. We knew about his project. He knew about ours. And then when Ridley Scott had announced that he had this idea and vision, Fox decided to go with him. And when they decided to go with Ridley Scott, they shut down Neil first. And then they came after us. And when we were at this event, we ran into 20th Century Fox personally. Okay. And they saw us and they said, "Oh, you're the Alien Identity guys, right?" And we said, "Yes." And they said, "Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, we like what you see. We like this." Okay. We left the convention center that evening when we were done at San Diego. And we got, as soon as we got to the parking lot, we got a cease and assist from 20th Century Fox from their lawyers, their legal team. and they had shut down everything with threats of suing and everything else in between. And they had, of course, enough money and backing to do so. So what I'm saying is,
what were they threatened by? I'm curious. Like,
what's
the
that?
threat that you guys still were they threatened by the fact you guys were stealing the xenomorph, the alien itself? Like, what were they pissed off about?
They
That
were
you had
mad
in the movie,
because
you know what I mean?
we had something that they actually read, followed, and really liked. Okay.
Yeah.
But they didn't want to bring us in to do it because then they knew that they couldn't control us. But at the same time, liked the idea, they couldn't steal it, but they could not control us. So the only other option they had was to shut us down and go with Ridley Scott. You see, so what I'm saying is they operate logically and not logically, because logically you would want someone to bring the franchise up to the level that the 1986 Aliens had, because that was one of the biggest sequels of all time, right?
Yeah, that was
what Michael Biehn and Bill Paxton and Sigourney Weaver and James Cameron and Gail Ann Hurd brought to the table, right? That's what you would want.
Hands down.
You
That's
would
the
want
best
that.
one.
You would want a proper sequel done, since you guys already fumbled the ball on that twice, because you did 2 movies after that that were awful. You would think that they would want to rebuild and try to get Aliens back on the level that it was, or even bigger, because it broke the Academy Awards and everything. So you would want that, right? Not thinking. They decided to trust Ridley Scott a second time. And their mistake with Ridley was this. Yes, Ridley directed the original 79 Alien, but he did not write it. Dan O'Bannon and Ron Shusett wrote that whole thing. Okay? And others collaborated to it. Well, both guys are gone, so you can't get to them. So they trusted that Ridley himself could make this work. And that's not how it worked.
Yeah.
Ridley Scott gets a lot of praise for projects that he didn't write. Everybody knows he didn't write Blade Runner. Philip K. Dick wrote Blade Runner. Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? That was the book that became Blade Runner. Philip K. Dick wrote, and they took that and made Blade Runner. Ridley just directed it. He didn't write it. Okay, but they decided to put their trust in Ridley Scott, who had by that time, I think he had 6 flops by that time. So,
which I love Gladiator. I love Gladiator though.
Gladiator was his last probably big success.
That's my shit.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
That was it. And it was great.
Shit.
But he didn't have it after that. You have to think he did Robin Hood with Russell Crowe.
Yeah, I missed that.
He did The Exodus with Christian Bale. That didn't go. He had quite a few, and none of them were cheap, basic movies. They were all big budgeted, huge money pictures, right? But they decided to go ahead and trust it. And that's the method to their madness, is they don't act well when it comes to doing projects. Executives make foolish decisions. That's how Alien 3, that was terrible, that's how that happened. Was because the whole story, real quick, guys, was that they didn't want to wait for James Cameron to do it. He said, just let me finish wrapping up this project, and I guarantee you, I'll do it. Just give me this. They couldn't even wait. No, we got to have it today. And randomly, in 1991, 92, you just randomly decide you got to have Alien 3. That was it. So then they just kept going.
That's a money grab. That's a money grab.
Here's what we're gonna do. We can't get this guy. Go down to the local college and see who's available. That's how they ended up with David Fincher, who ended up directing it. He was a young guy that did a couple commercials, never directed a full-length film yet. And they just put him in that seat, and they kept rewriting the script. It's a wooden planet. Ripley's gonna live. Ripley's gonna die. We're gonna do all this. We're gonna do this. And it literally went like that up until production. And that's how you ended up with it. And see, that's what I'm saying is these guys, you would think they're not going to be crazy enough to go ahead and put this out there knowing that fans aren't going to like it. They are
Yes,
that crazy.
we do.
And
Look
this
at
was in the
Look
80s.
at all-female Ghostbusters. Look at
Yeah.
the first Super Mario Brothers movie. They went through
Yeah.
so many different drafts, and it was like to the day of shooting where they were like, "Oh, here's the written script. Go ahead and do this." And John Leguizamo and what's his name were like,
Bob
"What
Hoskins.
the hell?"
Yeah.
Bob
Well,
Hoskins were like,
can I just throw something out there? I think if we do this right, speed on what you're saying, because it seems like see all that knowledge with who's directing who and what traffic went where. That's crazy to me because I love these movies. So to know who had these decisions is like, all right, well then how would you have the fans do it? How would you do cancel culture in a good way so we can communicate with these executives to not mess our stuff up and be like, listen, the fans want to do it this way. You got to give us a say because you're just burning your own money and then we're going to stop buying it. So just listen to us and let us elect the people who we
for
want
those
and talk
big
about it.
corporations,
It ain't
the
gonna work like
problem
that.
is it falls under the board of
Yeah.
trustees. So right now, Disney, with the whole Disney situation, they're trying to get 2 more seats on the board. And who wants that seat? Elon Musk.
Oh,
Elon
God.
Musk is gunning for that seat. Why does he want
They're
that
just
seat?
trying to take
Because he
over the
hates
world.
Iger. Now,
You know?
think about it. Gina Caruso, that's her name. She's suing Disney. Who is footing the bill? Elon Musk. Why does Elon Musk want to foot the bill? Because there's always a catch. He wants them to either pay Gina Carano and admit their guilt, or he wants the documents to come out. And if
Wait. Why? Where did Gina come in? Because she's fine. I love me some Gina Carano.
She
And
got
she should have
fired
stayed in
because of
Mandalorian.
some tweets. Some
Why is she so
political tweets.
special?
She got fired
okay.
because of political tweets. So
Yeah,
going back to that, so now she's suing for wrongful termination. Elon Musk is
backing
footing the bill completely.
Did not
because
know that. That's
Bob Iger, and he wants a seat on that board. So this is the thing about it. He's saying, fine, I win either way, because either Gina Carano is gonna win and Disney admits their fault, or Disney has to put out the documents and it's gonna show their ineptitude. So now it's gonna force the board to be like, yeah, we need 2 more seats. Because the board is tired. The board is tired of losing $1 billion. They're tired of the lackluster scripts. This is the thing that tipped it off. Because my wife, she's connected to Disney. So I know exactly what's going on with figures and what characters sell. The princess that sells the most is Ariel. Ariel is their money.
Now, why though?
Now,
is she the OG? Is that what it is? Why is she the most selling? Why is she the most selling? That's
little
peculiar.
girls love Ariel. Ariel is the popular character, just
Probably
like
Mermaid.
Stitch. Yeah, Little Mermaid. And Stitch is one of the most popular characters as well. He's up there.
Yeah.
In
that I
terms
believe.
of selling out. It's like out of all the Marvel characters, Spider-Man is the most lucrative. He's the one that sells the toys, merchandise, everything. So anyways, Little Mermaid comes out. Does it break $1 billion? No.
Nah, I don't know.
Barbie comes out. It broke $1 billion. Disney
but that's because of Harley Quinn.
Were pissed that their money printer did not break $1 billion and hemorrhaged the money versus Barbie. So now they're looking for change. The only way to make change is if the board is on top of it, and that's why they want more seats.
Right. So now we're telling the executives basically when we're sitting and we're chopping with Henry and we're chopping like this, it's almost like now we're talking the way that we're coming at ASJ and segueing into other things. The internet is going to be people's tool to dig in your backgrounds, dig what, what's going on, what happened, why didn't we get what we wanted, what's going on, who's in
and
charge?
The way that we
why are we
combat
not
that
allowed to ask those questions? I want to know. I'm just a fan, but if I have an outlet in a voice, right, and I want to put a couple people in place, why is that so wrong? If my intentions is for the franchise, it's not necessarily to get paid, but it's like I know everybody wins if it's done right. So what's
this
next?
Is the way that we combat first and foremost. Just being like, I'm not buying. Just like what
Yeah,
happened with
yeah.
Marvel Comics. I don't know if you guys remember around Avengers, the first Avengers movie, because this is
Mhm.
coming from the horse's mouth from a comic book owner. This is the
Right.
thing about it. This is when they started doing SJW, political correctness. They got Lady Thor, they got Sam
Mhm.
Wilson, Captain America, and when Disney first purchased Marvel, they were like, "Do whatever you want,
Mhm.
just do it. We trust you guys. Keep on going." And then all of a sudden, Captain America turned into a Nazi.
Oh God.
Thor was now a woman.
Mhm.
Hulk was now Asian, and Sam Wilson was now Captain America. This is
All
what
right.
ended up happening on the comic book shop level. Kids
Mhm.
would come in right after the movie. They would say, "Mom, I want to buy Captain America comic. I would like to buy an Iron Man comic." And Ironheart was a woman. Okay, so Iron Man, I want to buy Iron Man. I want to buy Captain America. All of a sudden, they get to the shelves. That's not Captain America.
Mhm.
That's not Thor. They're
Mhm.
And along with that, the sales suffered. Disney and Marvel didn't pay attention until the sales came in and saw nobody was buying those comics. I know Lady Thor had some big sales. I'll give it that. Like I'm not trying to be like mansplaining and all that. Just a heads up.
Mhm.
But the figures hurt. And so Disney and Marvel came in and said, "No, no, 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 no. Fix this right now." And we got Secret Invasion,
Right.
which fixed everything. So in my eyes, as soon as they can make a change, and I'm guaranteeing this is what's going to happen, they're going to Secret Invasion the crap out of the MCU.
And just make everything a whole jambalaya of a bunch of nonsense going on and try to reset it. Is that
Yeah,
what you're saying?
that's the only way I can see them even fixing something.
I got you, Drew. Let me set you guys up. All right, I'm gonna set you guys up, and we're gonna go around. We'll start with Ken again and go down like we just did. Right? Power Rangers. Are they gonna over sexualize it? Do you overset when you make it adult? Right? We're all in our 30s and 40s. Do we go the over sexualized route and let sex sell and do its thing? We got martial arts and we got animation. To me, those are the three kind of routes. I'm gonna give y'all 3 topics, 3 routes with the franchise. To me, in the comic world, this is what's happening. Number one is they're over sexualizing everything because we're all the way I'm watching what they're buying and what's going on whatnot, and it's like that's what they want. The grown men want the booby books, they want the risques, they want their favorite heroes in the most skimpiest outfits, redesigns, and then the toy guys, they want everything redesigned, done right, quality at our age bracket. Then you got to have the bottom tier. We got to have something fly to give my son too. So you guys got work to do on the toy tip. Stop throwing some, the bullcrap toys at us and thinking we're gonna have a good time and accept it. Now, with that being said, the movie ones coming out, they're getting it right. Some toy companies are paying attention because if you're willing to pay $200 to $300 for an action figure, they got some movie replicas that they just dropped. I don't know what company it is, but you gotta Google it and Instagram it.
Probably
The
Hot Toys.
movie replicas ones look gorgeous. They're like $300 figures, I think. Don't quote
They're
me.
Hot Toys. I think they're like $300 to $500 depending on
Bro, they're
the
gorgeous.
but
They're
they look
gorgeous,
just
right?
like yeah.
So
Those
Ken,
are nice.
set it off. Set it off. Those are the 3. That's what I'm thinking where we're at. As we take the brand first, those are the 3 we start out with.
Yeah, I mean,
Oversexualizing, they're gonna do it. Look what they already started with the Pink Ranger. Every Pink Ranger that you've already seen has been oversexualized.
Right.
Yellow Ranger, we all know is men in the Japanese version, in the Super Sentai, but here they got the female voice because the Yellow Ranger is always the second girl in some cases. However, they're not gonna really appeal to the adults. They're gonna more start, back at the kids. So they're not gonna over sexualize them anymore. They're just gonna make it camp. I think they're gonna go back with the campiness. They're gonna probably do, the teenagers with attitudes, and that's what people are saying. We're over the teenager situation. Give them some depth with characters. Let them, expand. Let them go out, do worldly things. Let them
character development.
Right, character development, because it's like when the characters come in, they're, you know, you give them this specific role, but look at the first 5. What was, I mean, besides what we know about Billy being a nerd, Trini being the calm and central one, Kimberly the Valley girl, Zach is the dancer, and Jason is just there, but the leader.
Fearless
What
leader.
else do they do outside of that?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, the later episodes, people, they started getting a little bit of character development, because with right after they passed the torch to, you know, the teens in Turbo, they started getting a little bit more development. You had TJ being the leader, but he came out his shell. He did, you know, he was a little bit more expressive. You got Ashley, she was the ditzy girl, but yet she, you know, she cared about things. You had Cassie, she was more like, you know, the badass, but you know, she was, you know, still a girl at heart. You had Justin the genius, and then you had Carlos, this soccer guy. So, you know, they basically had their character development, but then, you know, they kind of started dying off after that. But you got some shows that's still doing it. But over sexualizing, I don't think they're going to do that. I mean, if they do,
well,
you know,
like which bubble in the SAT you're gonna fill out, where each executive thinks it's gonna go. Basically, that's what they're gonna sit at the table and discuss where the money's at. It's gonna be in a few bullet points. Where do we push this? Do we tier it, and do we got the kids and develop them and sell it to them for another 30 years? Then we got to get the nostalgic heads. We got to make sure we don't piss them off, and then we want the future fans too. So then, you know, let's hold on. Let's keep it to 3-minute rounds. All right. We'll do 3-minute pass offs.
Yeah,
how would you conquer those 3 things? You know what I'm saying? And then we close it out with that. Go ahead.
Oh,
go ahead.
What
Drew.
I was about to say
whenever you're done, Drew, you go.
What I was about to say was, you know, they could care less about appealing to certain demographics. The ones they want to get the most out of is the kids. Because the kids are going to run to their parents and say, "Oh, I want the toys." Now, us as adults, we can go out and buy it anytime we want. You know, whatever we like, whatever we see, we're going to get. They want kids to say, "Mama, Daddy, I want this." And the more they see that, the more money that's going to come, because we can pick and choose. Now, you can say, like, "I don't want that one. That one don't look real good. So let's, you know, I'm going to wait till something else come out." Oh no, the kids gonna take it regardless if it looks good or not. If it's something they want, they're gonna, like the Dragon Zord I have over here, the one right there. People was that was $100 Dragon Zord, but the kids will go to Playmate, they will go to Walmart, they will see it for like $15 and say, "Mama, I want that." They would get that versus the $100 one. We would get that one, but if it doesn't look good, guess what? We'll take it back and say, "This is not what I wanted. This is not something I was looking for." That's money going down the drain. So they're not going to appeal to us. They're always going to appeal to the kids. So I'm going to let Drew go on this one.
Well, hold on real quick, Drew, before you go. I want to pause that. That's why I'm saying I think with the toys, I just want to throw a bar in there. How much you pay for it determines if I want to play with it. If I pay a lot of money for it, am I going to sit there and give it to my son and let him trash it? So when I say tiers, I think it's easy for the companies. Give me a solid $25 toy I can throw my son that looks pretty good and he can bang it around. It's not that hard. And then if you're paying over 100, 150, I'm not going to sit down and play with it. So you know what I mean? That's why, like you said, we have the money to pay for it. So it's like that tier is already solved. The adults, we like all tiers. I'm a weapon guy like Angel too. You give me an ill weapon. Look at the lightsabers from Star Wars. I'll buy them all, bro. I'm crazy. Then I'll play with them in my room. You know what I'm saying? So adults, we don't grow up with that, with the toys. We don't, that never leaves us. That's what the nostalgic feeds. And they know that. This is why I'm telling you guys, we can fight back because they're getting it from us. They don't know where to put their money and they fronting like they do, like they call the shots. And because if you put out some caca, I'm not going to buy it. And now we have cancel culture in the internet. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, hit them. Danger time. What do I do, bro? I'm frustrated. You know what I'm saying?
I was showing this. This is my, you talk about hot toys. This is my Hot Toys Kurt Russell Escape from New York Snake Plissken, which is one of my favorite pieces. You know,
Who makes
you're going to pay 3 to 4 to 5, depends. To get
Depends.
something like that.
And that's a rare movie, you know?
Yeah, it's one of my favorites of all time. And you know, the thing about it is I wanted to show that because it's not so much the price tag point, it's like the quality. It looks just like Kurt Russell. They nailed the outfit 100%. So that's going to make people go, I want that. That No Escape from New York, that love Kurt Russell. They're going to do that. You can do 20-something dollar figures because we all remember Lightning Collection was about late 20 in price, right?
Yeah, $30, yeah, give or take.
But they nailed enough to make you want to get it, right? So it's like this can be done again, but his Playmates gonna put the sculpting time, like McFarlane would always say. Remember, he said, I took a camera and took a picture and made that picture come to life. Are they gonna cheap out and then just like, oh, okay, here it's kind of that? Or are they going to do something where, because I have a 7-year-old, where he's going to want to see, because he's seen the Lightning Collection stuff and he loves it and he can recognize who's who and know it looks great enough for him to go crazy for it, right? But if it looks awful, he's also that kid that's going to be like, oh, yeah, like I don't want that. And that's my biggest fear right now, because there's the two markets, much like you guys said. You've got the kids market that's looking at things, and let's not forget the Imagine X stuff. You know, the kids were for that. We're buying the Imagine X. Yeah, they were kid oriented, but they were great for what they did. They, you know, the Dragon Dagger actually called the Dragon Zord. It did all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah,
so the kids are happy. What's that, buddy?
That Megazord was huge. I'm actually like pissed off at myself for not buying it.
Yeah.
The one that I got, I'm gonna move to the side so y'all can see. Well, I have to go and get it, but mine is really small, but it does go with the other it goes with the actual Megazord, but the Dragon Zord is tiny for $100.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Well, let's segue into martial arts now, right? Because having the right martial arts gives it, to me, the validity and solidifies the brand if we actually put enough of what we need into the martial arts, which you guys can even highlight which seasons you think did that, which seasons you think, you know what I'm saying? Give me your tidbits, because martial arts is important. And I think the Cobra Kai move that JDF used to talk is very prophetic, you know what I mean? Because even the kid who plays it, you got Tommy within it to half the world. They're already casting this kid. And he looks good. They got to get the suit right, but he could do it. But where we're going is Matt Cook is older. I'm trying to run parallel to MMPR The Return when they're older, and then they're going to pick a whole new set of teenagers with attitude under them. So me and Drew are talking about bringing in the younger generation too, because the torch has to be passed if you guys want another 30 years. So Ming in the special looked like she knew how to throw down. I'm going to start with that. So right now, the casting was okay. Yost is getting older. Walter's a vampire. And ASJ's a jailbird. You know what I'm saying? And then court is in session on Karen Ashley. We'd love to have you. You know what I'm saying? Sky's on the way. Sky's on the way. You know, Catherine, holla at your boy. Amy, we love you. Anything you say, all hail the queen. You know what I mean? It's like I could go for days, boys. Once we get them right, they got to listen, because we know better. We just know better. We know what we want. It's not to be disrespectful. It's like, what hasn't worked. So delete that. Delete that. Right? And let's talk about what we got left, because y'all about to cut it. And that's not happening. You can't kill the morphing grid. Look what that did for 30 years for kids. Now, how dare you? Nah. So martial arts has to come from where? Where do we lead that and legitimize the brand so it gets kids to want to sign up for martial arts schools and learn the principles and honor of being a man and whatever the devil's trying to throw out here to everybody? To me, the martial arts is important. That's the glue. JDF was a real ranger. He even had a couple UFC fights.
Yeah.
He tried. He did his thing. So with that being said, where are you guys at with that?
Martial arts needs to be the key point, because the thing is that even if you go the cheap route, and which I totally believe is not going to be cheap if you get Sentai footage, because you pissed off the Japanese already. They are
Yeah.
not happy with the sales going from Bandai America to Hasbro, and they're not happy with what Power Rangers did to Super Sentai. They're already
Right.
so it's not going to be cheap for whoever wants to get the Sentai footage. They're going to have to pay an arm and a leg in order to get it. Now,
Which is what we were talking about before, which is
so
cool because that segues back.
the thing about Super Sentai is that the guy who's in charge of the stunts only does Super Sentai and Kamen Rider, and he takes it super seriously. He's,
Right.
in my opinion, the Jackie Chan of the Japanese world. He only handpicks his students.
Right.
He assigns them their roles based on their skill levels and whatnot. Because if you think about it, and you can go back into the MMPR footages and all of the Power Ranger footages, like I like to use Super Megaforce as an example. When he was the Black Ranger, he was super serious. He knew how to fight. He knew how to use that axe. He went for the kill, right? But then when he became the Super Megaforce Green, the Gokai Green, suddenly he turned into an idiot. He's using two guns. He doesn't know how to fight. He's running away from the battles because that's what the actor did. Because in order to do Power Rangers, you have to be able to act with the helmet on. For instance, right now I'm really expressive with my hands. Once I put on this helmet and when I cosplay, you're not able to see my face. You can't see my expression. So I'm going to have to make it as visually appealing as possible. Not everyone can do it.
Body language, absolutely. Yep.
So, of course, that's what made Jason David Frank the diamond in the rough, was that it was a martial arts show, and he could actually do the moves out of the costume.
Which is why he called out ASJ all the time, because he wasn't, you know what I mean? And that's where that beef comes from. So we're going to leave that alone. But that's the main thing. If you're going to be a Power Ranger, you better know how to scrap. You can't not be able to shoot the 5, because then what are we paying for? You know what I mean? So the legitimacy of the martial arts to me has always mattered. And that's what drawing me to it. It's like, wow, I can kind of fight my bullies. I don't got to get picked on in school. The power will protect me. Hey, I should be righteous. That's what the essence of the brand. You can't tell me just because it's not making money. What other brand has all that? Well, show me Tommy anywhere else and any other brand. Show me another Tommy in Disney and Marvel and DC. Who's Tommy anywhere else? I want to know. So right there, I got him. That's what Rican says. You know what I mean? So Drew, who's the Ip Man? That's where I'm going to leave it. Who's the Ip Man of this, Drew?
When you get a Tommy, you typically want to keep him as much as possible. Think about Marvel. Their Tommy was Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Well, you could say that, but then Robert Downey is Elon Musk in real life. You see, equal opposing energy. Elon Musk is just, that's why in the Iron Man 2, he gives him the handshake when he gets to the bar and steals the Ferrari like a jerk off. You know what I'm saying? Because they're telling you. That's what I'm saying. Who are y'all to tell us? We know. We're telling you now because I said so. I'm not trying to be that guy, but I'm tired of paying for shit I don't like. Imagine you go to a deli and get a sandwich and you tell them how to make it, and then the effort, the way they make it, it's like, nah, slice it, toast it, do me right, bro. Come on, man. I'm paying money. I'm trying to eat.
Even if you pay your money, you're still not gonna be satisfied, because
regardless of how lines have to be drawn.
Regardless of how they write it, now it's all start with the writers. If the writers are not good writers and they continually to do this, you're gonna be pissed regardless, because you can go to the movies. Oh, this is gonna be a good movie. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see it. You get there and it's shit, and you complain about it. But guess what? The writers don't care, because they don't have to see your face. They're gonna just say, well, they're just gonna continue on writing the script the way they've been writing it.
And a part of us will always keep going too. A part of us will always keep going. That's a problem.
It's cycle. It's just an endless cycle. So it's like, you brought up a good point. I go to the store, ask them to make a sandwich, and it's not good. I
Yeah.
bring it back and said it's not good. Do me right, but the writers don't
Make it
care.
again.
They just
Yeah.
there to write. Some of them now, don't get me wrong. Some of them do care because I'm one of the one. I'm a writer. Y'all know I wrote my own. I got 6 books I written, so I
Yeah.
do take care of what my what how I write my stuff. If
Right.
anybody doesn't like it, I mean, I've already written it. I can't go back and change anything. I can take constructive criticism, put it into the next one. However, but
Mhm.
I still need to write the story the way I need it, because if I write it the way everybody else wanted, it won't be mine, first of all. Then secondly,
Right.
it
That's a
would
good
come
point.
out, I would have all this jumbled up stuff that would people be like, you put this here, put that there. Like, I got people want me to put them as ninjas in my story. And I'm like, hell no, I already got enough. I'm not doing it no more.
I mean, if you
Right.
take a look at Power Ranger Samurai, it was kind of the what we were talking about. Super Sentai purists were like, we want a season where it's just like Super Sentai.
Right.
So
Right.
they were like, hey,
Right.
okay, we'll give you something. Now,
Right.
what they did was they gave us similar talking points, but it was like they took away everything Japanese about Shinkenger and then just gave us a carbon copy of it. So
Right.
all of a sudden you see, okay, they gave us the Super Sentai, but it's not the same. So you're damned if you do, if you're damned if you don't.
What? Check
Basically.
this out. Let me pause. I'm gonna hit the pause button. I want to pass it to Drew. What if? Let's talk a multiverse saga, right? What if, my friends, we start throwing Sentais jumping through portals like Doctor Strange and using the morphing grid and include Sentai, like when Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, when he fell through the different realms, the different realities, we can incorporate the Sentai so that the OGs in Japan can get in on the bread too. Do it right. This is what I'm saying. I'm always gonna preach.
Permission from
Do it
Hasbro,
right.
and then we're gonna need permission from the Toei company in order to do that.
Everybody
Oh,
likes
don't
money.
play.
I don't want to
Toei
hear
don't
it.
play.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Drew, who's the it man of this, man? Who can you step in like Tommy, recast Tommy Oliver, which I think we've done, but I want you to talk about it. I mean, we've talked about this personally. I think Viking Samurai, shout to David, is
Ooh,
the
I
man.
like this. All right, so we're talking who can
Hold
replace.
up. We're gonna cast a few people too, because I want them to know this is not a game. You know what I'm saying? Then we'll lead into segue into animation, and and anime, and then we'll go from there and see where we're at. But martial arts, we need who's the it man of this, right? Give me some directors that can push it where it needs to go. Some actors, maybe. Let's make a gumbo and a potluck and a soup, and the party's the brand. What are you bringing to the potluck? Because to me, we got Tommy from Cobra Kai. That's a possibility. We got Matt Cook. Cut the check. Shout to David. We got Matt Cook, and if you try it, I'm coming for you. Right? So that we're plugged in. That's the universe. That's one way in. Amy Joe. We got Yost, Blue Emissary. I mean, I'm all day. Cut the check. Where do we go from there? How do you guys want to do it? We talked about the bad guys earlier. Matt Cook is numero uno for this squad on our side. So we got Ranger Slayer. Picture Amy Joe in some Ranger Slayer armor with a nice little energy bow. We're sending her first. Then we get Draken. Then maybe Draken at the end of the movie. Shout the sky. Holla at your boy. You know what I'm saying? We can get it done how you want to do it. And then what level? The sexualized, the martial art level. And then we're going to tease you with animation first. So who do we call? Who are Ghostbusters? I want to know. I got Ross Ritchie. Hold on. There's one more. Ross Ritchie. I got his assistant too, who used to work for him. I'm plugged in. I'm not playing. Bryce Carlson, editor-in-chief at Boom. Ross Ritchie. Writers, real writers. We're building a team of real writers. I want in. You know what I'm saying? We're giving you guys game for free, dropping jewels. So close them out, boys. Who do we need, Drew? We got Viking. That was all you. That was all you. So you're in the kitchen.
First, okay. First,
away, man.
We can't use Yip Man because the real story of Yip Man, there's very little information about him and the things that the movies claimed him to do.
Yeah.
98% of that stuff didn't even go down.
Hollywood, yeah. We know that.
Yeah, they kind of fluffed him
Shout
up.
to Donnie Yen, though.
So I would say, who's our Bruce Lee? Because
right.
we did get to see what he got to do,
Right.
And the thing about it is, if we look at people, it's really going to come down to not just people that can do it, but we need the key to doing martial arts correctly when it comes to film is you need really good stunt teams and you need great choreographers. So for Cobra Kai, as an example, they have Philip and Simon Reed. They're brothers. If you ever saw the movie Best of the Best, they were in Best of the Best as two of the main characters, Tommy Lee and Dae Han. That's Philip and Simon Reed, and they did all the work for Cobra Kai. They are phenomenal. They're known for traditional Taekwondo, and they are known for Hapkido. And they are very big masters in their arts, and they are very, very good. And David knows them. So both of them. So that's one thing. We'd have to look at it from that perspective. We'd also have to look at Don the Dragon Wilson, one of the greatest.
Dragon Wilson. Shout out to Don Wilson.
David hangs out with him. Viking hangs out with him 24/7. So
these are social circles. These are people who rock with each other behind the scenes. Let's give the fans something. Let's kind of point
that actor who was with Don the Dragon Wilson in that Magic Kid movie. He just disappeared after doing like Masked Rider.
Oh, you're talking about
TJ whatever.
TJ Robert. Yeah, TJ
Roberts.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I throw somebody out there and let you guys continue? Did you guys see the movie on Netflix it's called 6 Minutes or it's a German movie on Netflix, a fight movie. He had like dyed hair. I got to get the name. Guys like that. If you watch that movie, crazy. Like, so style of fighting too. Get into which styles got to be in the Rangers too, you know?
Well, that's what I'm pointing to as a martial artist and as somebody that's done stunts and choreography. You really want the best at having someone that can really choreograph the fight scenes and really good stunt teams and people that can roll with these stunts. And that's going to make a big difference. So if you take Philip and Simon, you'll have a style where you can do aerial stuff. You'll have more of a Hapkido kind of technique, and that's where hip hop keto came from, was Hapkido. So you can get those two techniques, which you see a lot of in Cobra Kai. But then if you bring in Don the Dragon Wilson, you could come from more of a kickboxing kind of stance, which will look good too. And if you do want either Wing Chun or you want some Hungar or you want some Jeet Kune Do, depending on which system you want, if you want Bruce's system or you want, what Dan Inosanto took and adapted from Bruce, it depends on what you want from that. But if you want those things, I think you have to get the best out of the game. So in that case, I would say go to Dan Inosanto's academy and bring in his stunt. Yeah. And do you guys know about Dan Inosanto? Okay.
You always put me on to these people. I research them later after you talk about it.
Dan Inosanto was the guy that taught Bruce Lee how to use nunchucks. And he was the guy that showed him how to use the Eskrima sticks, because Dan Inosanto is one of the best practitioners of all Filipino martial arts. And that's where Eskrima and Kali and Sarada came from. And you see him in Game of Death. Bruce fights him in Game of Death, actually. And he's the guy that completed Brandon Lee's training, so Bruce's son.
Okay.
So he was one of Bruce's closest students. When you see a lot of Bruce Lee's demos at the Ed Parker martial art festival that they have, the tournament, Dan is usually the guy that Bruce uses for all the demonstrations as well. So he is the man when it comes to that. So you could bring in his stunt team, I would say. And I would also recommend Master Jeff Speakman, The Perfect Weapon. He's one of the first martial arts celebrities I ever got a chance to see as a kid. I briefly was part of his class for a time. He's incredible. And if you never saw his movie, The Perfect Weapon, he was trained by Ed Parker. Ed Parker's the guy that trained Elvis Presley. He's the guy that ran the Long Beach martial art tournaments Bruce Lee demonstrated at. He worked with a lot of people, and he was incredible. So Jeff was his top best student that has all the knowledge and has since developed even deeper with it. He's incorporated Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu into Kempo. So it's Speakman 2.0. So you can bring that flavor into it. And I think if we incorporate all those styles into it, the Power Ranger fight scenes would look flawless and perfect and have a blend of different styles in there. So you get what you want, Rican. You get the Eskrima. You're gonna have it in there. You get the Kali. You get
and that then let me pause you for a second. Then you get into the flash shit, right? Then we got crazy weapons. We talked about having a what's the illest weapon out here, right? We talked about this before. The lightsaber hasn't been beaten, which is why in Mando they just did a version of it. So let's give the Rangers all dark sabers, kind of like what is it, Galaxy? Right? They had the swords. What were their morphs called? I forget. I just started watching that one. I'm going back and watching all seasons. But I like that. You know what I mean? We can make the weapon the focus and make sure they always have an ill morpher. So you got to have the martial arts. We can agree that the martial arts is going to give it the validity it needs and going to determine the quality level of who's actually going to watch it and take it serious, because having good martial arts is going to put money in everyone's pocket and then force the kids to want to go maybe look into some MMA. You got a bully picking on you, go take a couple classes in the MMA world, go be a man, go learn something. That's what JDF was telling when he wasn't a Ranger. You know what I'm saying?
That was the thing. They had martial arts schools come to our school and do their little thing and try to get classes, because Power Rangers was big at the time when I was little.
Yeah, go be a Ranger.
That was the thing that they taught. I mean, I didn't go to a lot of classes. I went to enough before my dad got tired of taking me in the mornings. But yeah, that was like the first thing they told us. Like, hey, like this in this school, like we ask for your grades. Like if you're screwing up, like we're gonna kick you out. And they were like, don't use your moves for anything other than self-defense, because we'll kick you out.
Yeah, that's why we're calling to order. The order is calling everybody to get behind David and get behind Viking, because we feel like if you read the comics and you see what's going on, Matt Cook comes in and changes everything, and even got Tommy shook. Do some Tron stuff like they did with Jeff Bridges, kill Tommy off, right? Send him, you know what I'm saying? And you let Matt Cook lead, and we go from there. At least we get our Green Ranger back. The
thing is that, see, if I was to do another story like that, like you're talking about a Shattered Grid type of thing,
yeah,
I would
man.
a baby Tommy.
All together. Dimensions in Danger. Dark Sector comes in.
I would just be like, have all of the villains come together and be like, who's the number one guy that we need to take care of? Tommy. Screw that guy.
Yeah.
Let's go back in time
and then he's the Jeff Bridges.
He then becomes a threat, and then all of a sudden, Time Force has to get involved, and then they're getting a baby Tommy, and a baby Tommy doesn't have his moves.
And then where's Amy Jo? Where's the Ranger Slayer? Right? Where's Wes? Where's the Quantum Ranger? Then you start bringing in the hits. It's like, okay, then you got Trey of Triforia coming back. We're even giving that dweeb a check. I don't know what he's doing out here yelling at fans too. So it's like ASJ too. It's like who's gonna come along? You know what I'm saying? Because there's money out here if you guys know how to move and you listen to us. We're giving it to y'all. Go ahead, Drew.
I was gonna say also, guys, we can bring in the VR troopers.
Yes, we talked about that.
I would love
that. Patented. We will come for you. That's our idea. Just so you know.
I want the Beetleborgs. Screw everything else. I want the Beetleborgs in there.
You like that? Could be a legendary
battle. I love the Beetleborgs. All right, that was my demographic. I was a little kid at the time when they were airing. I was the Beetleborgs.
Right. So let's close it out with animation. How important? Let's break down animation. Ken, you're up, right? We're gonna start with like Sailor Moon influence, DBZ, Akira, Ghost in the Shell, I'm gonna just give off what I know. Okay, as far as that, this is why I think it's important, because there's a cultural shift in anime. It's always influenced culture, and we want to throw as much homage into the Asian community too. I mean, we can educate them about Spider-Man too. Like Rangers, there would be no Rangers without Japanese Spider-Man in his Zord. So I know my history. It's important. Stan Lee's always co-signed Ranger, and he hugged JDF and said, "This is my favorite Ranger." So
Well,
if
yeah,
I'm not
because he
trying to be,
wanted
I'm not
for-
trying to be
before
arrogant,
Saban.
huh?
He wanted Rangers before Saban, but he couldn't get them on board.
Exactly. So
He was
don't
all
tell
like,
me
look at this show.
that
I just watched this. We could bring
Yeah.
it over, and they're like, nope.
okay, right? So check this out.
That's
out.
fair.
If Rangers got a Stan Lee co-signed early on, and he's out here hugging JDF and high-fiving him, what are we saying that's so crazy? You know what I'm saying? You could have did it with them before Marvel. So now you're up. Give us Sailor Moon, give us Ghost in the Shell, give us Pokemon, give us put everything together, but make it Rangers. What do we need in that world to give us, that animated, like what X-Men 97 is to us, what Spider-Man the 90s cartoon is to us, what animated Batman Beyond, the list goes on. How come we haven't had an animated Rangers that we feel in the heart? That's
Toei
necessary.
is playing with the idea. They already came out with Kamen Rider Double, the anime sequel. So they're dipping their toes into it because they know there's a market for it. Number one, they know there's a market. Number two, they understand that their actors are getting older. So in order to do like a Kamen Rider Double sequel, which they don't do often, they don't do a sequel for Super Sentai. They don't really do a sequel for Kamen Rider unless it's the movies. So those guys are getting older. They were like, yeah, we're gonna do animation. We're gonna try it. And Kamen Rider Double, the anime is pretty good.
I keep hearing that name. It's got to have a lot of fans. Kamen Rider definitely has fans.
Oh yeah, Kamen Rider arguably is one of the rivals to Super Sentai.
Yeah. So what else do we need besides that? I mean, I'm thinking Animatrix, Halo Legends, Final Fantasy, Spirits Within. Come on, man, Spider-Verse.
No, they can do it. They can do it. They have the means to do it. The problem is you're going back to Final Fantasy Spirits Within. Think about how long it took us to get another Final Fantasy movie.
Right.
It's like, do we want to put the money into this because the return on the last one was not good? That's why they did it with 7, because 7 was the moneymaker. They were like, screw it. If we're going to do another one, do 7.
And that's why I say it's a demand for it. You have to know your audience. Sailor Moon got her 25th anniversary, but look how long it took for them to actually give us the final part of it. They just released it in Japan in January, but we still haven't gotten it here in America. We just lost Akira Toriyama 2 months ago. So was it last month? It was last month.
Yeah.
It was last month. So
that was the big one.
Dragon Ball Z. Me and Angel were talking about this. The last time we talked, it was supposed to be on a hiatus, but he said it's coming back soon. So it's like they don't. He said they got the direction together with Dragon Ball Z. Naoko Takeuchi, the creator of Sailor Moon, she would not let people touch Sailor Moon because when they brought it over here and they butchered it the first time around when the Deke had it, then they had Cloverway get it, and then it was somebody else. She was not letting the rights go to anybody unless they did it justice. She gave it to Viz, and Viz actually stuck to the quality of what she wanted. So it's all about the people that's gonna get it, and it's about the fans. I'm a huge Sailor Moon fan, and if I tell you I start watching the Cloverway, the Deke, and all of them, that should tell you something.
Can I tell you something real quick? You should take Sailor Moon and make her a ranger like they did Ryu with the Ryu Ranger.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? That'd be crazy because she's just a regular girl, right? I mean, she's got powers, but give her powers.
No. She's
not put some Ranger armor on her. I'm just saying, Sailor Moon.
She has powers now. And see, this is the gripe that I was telling y'all about earlier. We got to try to wrap it up because We've been going a good little minute, guys. We got to wrap.
Yeah,
but
close it out.
The
Close
thing
it out.
is, I'm gonna close it out with this. But the thing is, the gripe that I have, and I'm gonna give you guys 1 minute to let me know what you guys is thinking. What are the Power Rangers powers? I've been asking this ever since Power Rangers has been on the air. What are their powers? Now, Super Sentai give us their powers. We see what they have. What is specific about our Rangers that we get to see their, individual powers? Now, not saying Dino Thunder. We do know what Dino Thunder give us. I'm talking about MMMPR, Zeo, Turbo. Well, Turbo gave us a little bit because in the movie we did get to see them moving at fast pace, so we did get to see them have super speed. But in space, Lost Galaxy, what are their powers? So I want to start with Drew. Now, Drew, what do you think?
Okay, so are we talking powers outside of the suit?
No,
I mean they're superhero, basically back at a baseball card. You know what I mean?
Okay. So we already know, like Tommy Oliver, if we're talking about in the suit, the shield, and he had
we know the shield don't protect. We know that.
Yeah, he had energy projection too. So I mean, those are two things right there. The shield,
he was like Ryu.
He could
like Ryu.
Yeah. As far as the other Rangers go, like
love it.
In America, to be honest, outside of him, they were all kind of the same when it came to their powers. They might have had different weapons.
Trent had speed. Didn't Trent have speed? He had super speed and invisibility and Dino
Thunder. No, that's why I said skip Dino Thunder.
No.
Dino Thunder had it.
Right.
And they had powers outside of the suit. No, Dino Thunder was kind of ill. They kind of did what that was.
Dino Thunder. He said besides Dino Thunder, what?
Yeah, that's why I took them off the. That's why I took them off the thing, because they had it. So that's why I said I know they had it. I'm talking about the ones that came before Dino Thunder.
JDF was invisible.
Yeah. Dino Thunder.
See, that's what I like about Beetleborgs, because they gave them powers outside.
They did.
Let me end the animation. Hold on. Animation, but then we close it out, Ken. Remember Reboot? Do you guys remember Reboot? I forget what year. I forget what year. I didn't want to lose that thought because I think if we get a Ranger version of mix, here's my formula. Reboot, right? You give me Reboot, give me the iconic of the Simpsons, everything from the 90s with some Reboot. Maybe a little Beast Wars, old school Beast Wars Reboot, but like with modern computer and tech. The CGI work got to be phenomenal. The Zord work got to be phenomenal. There's no excuse. Get a computer to get it right. Pay who you need to pay to get it right. The Zord sequences got to be
franchise. You get, because that's in the Transformers.
Yeah, and you got Transformers. They showed you how to do it. So go get what's his name who did the Transformers movie. What's his I can't think of it right
Michael
now.
Bay, hell no.
Yeah, Michael Bay. Do Michael Bay type Zord quality. Right, stop playing.
No, Michael Bay.
But I'm saying the level. Hear me out.
No, Michael Bay. No, Michael Bay.
The level of explosions, the intensity.
That's anything else that comes on a big screen. And we're closing out. I ain't got time for you.
Bad Boys
Generation 1, 84 Transformers guy. No Michael Bay. I like Generation 1.
No, but what I'm saying is, hear me out. Then you guys can take
it. Do a damn good job, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Bad Boys 2 was I. Bad Boys 2 was I. I'll give him that one. All right. So animation, what I've done, like that's it. Ingredients with that is close it out with that, and then basic bare necessities. Close it out with the bare necessities. Take the last 3 ingredients. Those were my 3, right? Hold on. Those were my 3: martial arts, animation, and the
I ain't got time for Angel in his Beetleborgs. I got another thing.
So hence deleting that off the board. You're up.
Give me right here.
Give me 3, Ken. Change it. Give me your Mount Rushmore. Give me your Mount Rushmore. I said sex, martial arts, animation. I want those 3. You guys give me your 3 before we dip. And if whoever wants to keep going, we keep going.
No, we can't. We look. This is gonna
gotta
be.
Cut it. All right.
For no 5 or 6 hours. We ain't doing that.
Yeah.
Henry.
Let's take it to 2 and we'll close it out. Let's close it out.
I'm with Angel on that. Let's see. I'll go with martial arts and animation. So my martial arts would be basically I love kickboxing. So I would say who's a good kickboxer? I could say.
No, you can pick your
American
own
Muay
three
Thai.
too. Hold on. You misunderstood the question. You can pick your own three. Those were my three.
Oh,
Remember?
those
I
your
wrote those
three.
down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you guys can swap and put whatever you want, but give me 3 in 3 minutes each. You know what I mean? Go around.
Okay, so mine would be.
I started it with that.
Okay, so yours
Go
was.
ahead.
And why did it have to be 6? Why did it have? But
I still
anyway,
need a
so
wife,
mine
bro.
would be-
you know?
look,
I'm
mine
still
would be-
looking for my Kimberly. I need my Kimberly, bro. You know what I mean? I'm chilling.
I'm just saying. I
Rubber
mean, out
ball.
of everything else, the S word had to come up. But this is supposed to. Well, we'll leave it at that. But anyway, mine
Yeah,
would
leave
be.
that one alone, bro.
Mine would be cons. The other one would be video games and really good X-Men. So that's my three.
Cons. Say it again.
Cons like Ranger Style.
Comic-Con?
I'd have been to like 7 or 8 so far. So, and then we got one over here that's a comic book collectible place where we go on Sundays, and
Right.
I just been going to them, so I just love them.
Yeah. Okay. So you want physical, come out and touch the brands and be with the people, the block party. That's what I call it. Out the schoolyard. Like reach out, touch the fans, sign some stuff, salute, dap, pay my bills. Because that's what we're doing, paying your bills. So be nice, give us what we want. So go ahead.
Right. So Drew, you're up.
I'm up. And
Yes,
Mount. Okay, so what
Good job.
you said 3 or 4
3.
Yeah, give me the 3 ingredients in the soup that you gotta have. You gotta have them.
for Power Ranger success?
Cook. Yeah, right now. Mine was sex, martial arts, animation.
Oh, good lord. Okay,
If you're gonna do adult Power Rangers, these 3 gotta be there, and they gotta be done right. And I'm almost 40 years old. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so me being a martial artist since age 9, I'm gonna of course go with martial arts as the biggest one.
Yes,
and I think that's really the key.
Right.
I would say number 2 is I'm not going to say sex. I will say relationships that never got finished or put together that we all wanted to see that would flesh out the story and make sense. I think that's important. I think we all can think of 6 different Power Ranger shows that's happened to. I would say the next big thing is team ups of good guys and team ups of bad guys.
That's a good one.
Heck
yeah.
From other shows, other ideas, VR Troopers, Beetleborgs, even though I'm holding my teeth.
Mashup, easy rider too.
Adult Beetleborgs, though, right? Okay, they're gonna be okay. They're not gonna be the kids going. Okay.
Okay. The fighting got to be real.
Okay. Then I'll.
All right.
What else?
And you're up.
All right. For me, plot 100%. They need to actually write a good plot. Like I said,
nice.
I'm saying it. Shinkenger was great because it appealed to kids, but then it had that what the hell moment before Frozen did it. Like I was sitting on the screen going, what the hell is going on? So plot, they got to do it for kids, but also treat the adults like they're in the room, which is not hard to do.
It's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, look at Bluey. It's awesome. I would say martial arts, another one. They have to focus on the stunts. Like if they're gonna be doing Ranger stuff, that's the one thing I will give the 2017 movie is that they had those stunts. They were screwing around with their powers and trying to figure it out. So that was really cool. And then the third, I would say, emphasis on the gimmicks, because as much as they annoy some people, they're pretty cool when they're done correctly. Like for instance, the Ranger keys. They make you want to go out and buy every single Ranger key. This is the Japanese one. This thing did not make me want to go buy anything. It pissed me off. Just to see, this was the Japanese one. This is the American one.
Look at it. Yeah.
So
we know quality of the toys and give us that part of the culture too, definitely. So we need good plots, we need good stories, we need good toys. We gave y'all at least 3 right now. What else did you say, Ken? Right?
Well, I
Recap.
misunderstood the question. So now that I know what the question is, it was martial arts,
Yeah.
X-Men. The reason why I say X-Men is because we need really good team. We need good team building. We need each
Right.
ranger to know
Character development. Yeah, you
right,
did say
and then
that.
they have to know, each X-Men know their
Mhm.
role. So the Rangers, most of them do know their roles, but some of them,
Mhm.
they don't. So they need good team building. Video games, they do need some kind of break. So they
Yeah.
do need some R&R, because hell, every time you look up, the sirens are going off in Angel Grove. So they need somewhat, something to unwind with, instead of being at the
Mhm.
juice bar every day. So
I mean, as much as
Mhm.
people hate them, I love the filler episodes in Super Sentai. I love the episodes where they're
oh
just
yes,
Yeah.
regular people, where all of a sudden there's not a Gedosho out ready to kill people. There's not, the villains are chilling out for the weekend, and they're just like, what are we gonna do? And that's
they're
when the
just
team bonding happens.
having fun.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
All right, guys. So we're gonna end it here because we have gone over like 40 minutes. We have gone over like 40 minutes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give everybody
Good
1
stuff.
minute to do an outro. And once you guys do your outro, we're gonna be out. So I'm gonna start off. I just want you guys to know that we got Ranger Stock coming in here in Atlanta, June 21st through the 23rd. Make sure you get your tickets. Make sure you get your passes. I will be there. If you guys see me, just come by, say hello, Kenny. I will be doing vlogs there. So let me know if you're there. Just show up, come say hi, and let's move on. Drew, what about you, buddy?
All right. We've got Denver Fan Expo, Denver Comic Con coming July 4th through the 7th, I believe. I will be there that Saturday looking for Johnny Young Bosch, who will be there, and Keith David. So if you guys want to come over and say hey, that would be cool. Can't miss me. I'll be in a wheelchair. So that's how you can find me. So come check me out over there. And Danger Custom Action Figures, my channel. We just did a video with Laura from the Henry Resilient stream. She came on and did a really cool interview with me. She wanted to do that, so we were able to put that together. I want to thank Angel for coming on. I hope you come to every episode that we can get you on. And
shout out to our 6th Ranger, y'all.
Yeah, you are a Ranger and you're on the team. Because remember, I told you, I said, you're my pick. I want you on the team. So you're my guy. So I want you here.
Word, bro.
And I want to hear from all of you guys more often, just to see how everybody's doing. You guys want to reach out to me, whatever, go on Danger Custom Action Figures, shoot me a message. I promise I'll get right back to you. And yeah, just everybody be safe out there. And D's for danger. Be safe.
Right.
Heck yeah.
Reeking
All right,
is
Angel.
your time.
Oh, okay. You want me to go?
Yes,
Well,
sir.
basically, yeah. Rise of the Ninjetti shall rise. I'm gonna start with that. Matt Cook on the way. I'm just trying to be an arbiter. Trey King Productions. I got my music going on. Rican Ranger everywhere. Shout to you guys for being able to come out, chill, always give time. Letting me brand up and kind of. I love that I learned everything from you guys and other opinions, and I love going different places with people's mind. With the franchise, it's important, and that's what being vocal about what we want is important to me. So with that all being said, I'm basically throwing the bat signal up. I'm looking for shout to Unworthy. Let me get my shout outs. Shout to Unworthy, shout to Bat in the Sun, all the martial art connections Drew shouted out earlier, all the Angels people, all the Ken's people, everybody who's tuning in. I'm it's morphin time always. I always want to know what's next. This is like when Michael's walking on Billie Jean. I'm looking for the glowing bricks right now. I'm looking for CGI people, writers, people who are like, hey, let's do some Ranger stuff, behind the scenes. Let's make some movement. Let's see who's in charge. Let's talk. Before the franchise is something we can't do nothing about. That's kind of where I'm at with it. So Weekend Ranger here all day, every day. And yeah, shout to Angel, man. Thanks for coming through. Hopefully, stay tuned for who's next. Ken's always got somebody cooking. You know, we always got somebody in that seat. Order shall be restored all 2024. Rican Ranger, right? I guess I gotta go with my Ninjetti morph, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Now, Angel, what you got
Fingers.
to say about
I'll be at Power Morphicon. I'll be there all 3 days. If you see me, say what's up. Even you, Brett.
Oh God!
You know,
round
he's
them
gonna
up.
be there.
That's
You know
fine.
he's gonna.
Oh God! We got through the whole podcast without even mentioning.
No, I
that.
messed with Brent. But shots fired. Yeah.
Yeah, even Brent can come up and say, "Hey, what's up?" I'm not gonna punch you in the face. So
Yeah. Come on, man. Just change your Ranger. No, I'm sorry.
So I'll be there all 3 days, and hopefully I can get some good footage in, and
yeah.
hopefully I can get some interviews or some connections with that, so we can get some good content. And yeah, I live in LA, so hopefully I can meet up with some of these people, since there's always something going on here.
Oh yeah, I mean regional thing real quick. We got LA, right? We got Atlanta, Denver, right? Drew, I think you're in Colorado, right? And I'm in New England, so anything in New England, I got a venue ready down in Taunton. Shout to Platinum City. I'm ready to go. I got tables ready to be booked. You guys better start talking turkey and money. I'm coming for the replacements. You know, let's get the Ninjetti tour going. Shout to the order. I'm looking for Cardenas. Karen, what up? You know what I'm saying? And Adam, I know you're a busy guy, but we need the frog, bro. Straight up. We need the frog, bro. And you know what I'm saying? You other than JDF, you know, and shout the font. To me, Adam is just as important to this. So I'm gonna send a personal salute. That's my favorite Ranger after JDF died. I always thought Adam was the man. So shout to the frog. My son grew up with a frog stuffy. I won him one in one of those claw machines. So frogs are important to me.
You gotta go keep.
And you know the line, kiss the frog prince. That's my. So I love you guys, man. Take him out, Ken. Let him know what.
Hold on. My personal shout out. TJ Roberts, what the hell happened to you? You fell off the earth. I'm gonna find him. That's my mission.
People have been looking for him.
We are looking for him.
They've been looking for him, and they haven't found him yet.
We the bear, right?
Somebody in
and
the comment section. Somebody knows where he is. Get him here. I need to talk to him.
Listen, shout some other channels who might mess with us too, right? Nerd affiliated. I seen him on Henry. Shout to Henry. Francis, we need you.
Oh yeah, we need our friends.
We need the Viewing Globe. We need Henry. We need Alpha 5. Get your butt over here and stop playing.
Oh,
we're not coming to your house no more.
Strike this down.
We're not coming to your house no more, Henry. If you don't come over here, bro.
Now,
we don't play like that, Mr. Paperwork.
Now, on that note, we gotta go. I love you guys. We all love you. Thank you guys for coming to watch us. I got to go because this is gonna be a hell to edit. And we will see you guys.
Make sure you leave the good stuff in. Don't play around.